would you say to other Indian girls who want to leave home?
What I would say to other Indian girls who actually want to leave home, I can understand all the reasons that they may feel they want to leave home because they're not being understood, they're not feeling loved or the way they're feeling that the love is out there. One thing I will say is the grass is never greener on the other side. These people who have made these sayings, like a leopard never changes his spots, the grass is not greener on the other side. There was reasons, it was wise people who made these sayings. Hear them, listen to them, and learn to understand them. Yeah, and I would say, do your education, go to university, experience your freedom there. Whatever you want to try there, because at least you're still protected, because you've got a shelter over your head. So if you're going out and you're drinking at night, or you're going to experience the drugs, or you want to experience the sex, yeah, I'm not saying you're not going to do it, because I did it. I'm just telling you how to do it properly. And what I'm saying to you is go to university, you'll still have a shelter over your heads. Yeah, and if it all goes wrong, you'll be coming back home to your mum and dad with an education. So all isn't lost. And if you then still feel that you want to run away from home, you're running away from home with an education that no man, no woman, no child, no beast can hurt you once you've got your education.
Okay. What do you mean by what's out there?
What's out there? It's a horrible world out there. It is. The way we've been brought up as Indian girls in our culture, we've been hidden away from it all. I remember my manageress said to me when I wanted to join the police, she goes, do you really want to join the police, Pepe, and learn what a horrible world it is out there? She goes, because I like to come home and shut my door and not know what's going on out there. Well, it's the same as when you leave. You know, when you leave home, as soon as you've walked out of that front door, there's no going back. You're on your own. See, with white people, they've been brought up very, very different from us. Nothing wrong with it, but they have been brought up stronger. Their children have actually been brought up a hell of a lot stronger than us kids. Yeah, because they've been out there, they've been allowed to see what's out there and learn, which has made them stronger as children. Yeah, whereas we've been protected. And that is going to come and bite you on the bum. That's what I mean by that. You don't know what it's like once that door's open and you're on your own. You know, like a white girl who's 16 can leave home, experience the world and come back to her mum and dad's house. But if you're an Asian girl and you're 16 and you're leaving home, you ain't coming back to your mum and dad's house, because they are not going to say, come back home, baby, we'll look after you.
Okay. Well, you have certainly had some snakes in your life.
Yeah. You know what, a wise friend of mine said to me one day, he goes, you know what, Pepe, he goes, life is like snakes and ladders. You know, you've got the snakes who climb up the ladders and the snakes will bring you back down. I never actually understood that. And I've been very lucky. I have actually been very, very lucky that I have met some very, very strong, wise people around me. And if only I could turn the clocks back now, the knowledge that they were giving me, I wish I could just go to them and say, give me more. Give me more, because whatever you gave me helped me survive through that, and that. You're right, I have met a lot of snakes in my life. You know, I guess my board was cheated on, my snakes and ladders. There's more fucking snakes than ladders.
What do you mean by that? Please explain yourself.
Well, as you go through the book, you know, it starts off with obviously the arranged marriage, and then, you know, being with Charlotte's father, and then going into the police force and seeing various different organisations which you didn't even know existed. And then from there going into the music industry again, seeing different types of organisations. You think you're going into the police force, and that is just that organisation, which is a police force, but it isn't. In the police force there are other organisations, you know, which are doing their own thing. And as you know now, it is all coming out in the media eye, in the public eye. We're being made aware of the corruption in the police. Yeah, but you don't join the police to know about any other little organisations that are in there that are actually massive underground. You join the police to be a bloody police officer. Yeah, it's the same as in the music industry, and as I write about in my book about Junior's death. I went into the music industry to be in the music organisation, not to see all these sharks and all these other little organisations which are coming out of it. I suppose some people could say that there's always bad apples everywhere, but then maybe I just had a hell of a lot of bad apples.
Okay. Why do you think Indian girls so-called run away from home?
Yeah, I would say it's the same thing. I know that they've got this name for Indian girls, Runaways. It's horrible. What a horrible, horrible, ugly name to give to such beautiful girls. Because you'll find that the girls that are actually running away from home, nothing ugly about them. They're so beautiful. They are really, really beautiful girls. Yeah, but they run away from home because they're clever. I would actually say because they're smart girls, and they're picking up things and they're learning different cultures, and then they're getting confused in between those cultures, because in our culture, or in the Asian culture as it used to be at my age, you didn't really think for yourself. You weren't allowed to think for yourself. Yeah, your mother and father and your aunties and your uncles and their grandfathers and whatever thought for you. But the clever girls who go out there and then they're getting their education and they're seeing that at home and that outside and that culture there, they're trying to pick it all out and thinking, well, I like that, but I want to have a bit of that, but I also like that. You know, they want to be able to pick and choose and have a choice. And so why shouldn't they have a choice? You know, we're all human beings, we only live the once. So why shouldn't we live the life that we want to work towards to live? And because the clash comes like that, and then they're stuck, yeah, and they just feel like saying help, yeah, because it's in their head, they're clever. You know, sometimes they say, wouldn't it be beautiful to just be stupid? Because if you're stupid, you don't think then, do you? So anybody can do anything they want, stick you where they want, and you're all right. I do believe it's the clever girls. So the name that they give them, Runaways, an ugly, horrible name to give. What they really should say is that these are the girls that have been clever. Yeah, but when they do run away or leave home, that beautiful girl that was there that had that intelligence is all of a sudden pulled apart and lost because she's run away, but now all of a sudden she's stuck and she's got all this in her head but no help. And that's when I say when they run away, they go to the wrong hands. And it was once said, I suppose we scrape the bottom off the barrel. You know, because I tell you what, some of the white men or the black men or the yellow men or whatever the beautiful Asian girl goes out with, a white woman wouldn't even touch them. That's a God's honest truth. A white woman wouldn't even touch some of the men that an Asian girl would run to, because she's running for love. Yeah, and she doesn't realise that she's just about to run into somebody's arms who's the pit of the pit. Yeah, that, as I said, a white woman wouldn't even touch you.
Okay. Do you believe that's what happened to you?
No, as I said, I was really, really loved. I was loved by my family. I know I had the rejection when I was called a witch at a very young age and sent away. But then when I came home, I think my father went more so out of his way to make me feel accepted, almost to the point that I was spoilt as a girl. I was allowed to be naughty. You know, he never told me off at all, whereas my brothers and sisters would get told off. And I do think, as I write in my book, it is because I was called a witch and sent away. But it has hurt me. Yeah, I do believe that some of it's affected me, and I do believe that I would have run into the wrong arms. I would have run into the wrong arms, and I have to give Charlotte's father the credit here, regardless of the fact that our relationship broke up because of various things that had happened, and as I write in my book. But I do love him for this. I love him for many, many things now, I do actually. And in my book I do write all the horrible bad times we went through as well, but then that's real, my book's true. But at the same time now, in my hand and my heart, I can say I do love him very, very much. But being the man whose arms I run into when I left home, because he looked after me, You know, he was a lot older than me, and he had a really, really good job. And if I hadn't run into his arms, I could have ended up in some of the arms that our Asian girls have run into. And I don't know where I would have been. So either God saved me or he saved me. But right now, I can only give my heart out to him to say he saved me.
Okay. How do you feel when you left home?
Honestly, when I left home, I actually felt scared. I felt really scared as I'd packed my bags and my brother helped me, and obviously I wrote it all in the book. And I remember that night lying in bed at her mixed mum's house, and all of a sudden I felt scared because I thought, oh my God, I've done it. What do I do now? Well, the worst thing for me was I was actually pregnant with Charlotte as well. And all I was thinking, oh my God, I want to go home. But I couldn't take myself home. And I suppose some of it was pride, but some of it is, like I said, a white girl who's 16 can run away from home or leave home and then come back, and mommy and daddy says, yeah, come back home. Asian girl can't do that, because once you leave, you just have to keep walking. You can't turn around and come back. So for me, I was scared. I was really, really lost. And for months and months, I cried every night for my mum and dad. And I did believe after I left home, as much as I loved Mick, and I really loved his mum, she looked after me. But I missed my mum and dad so much, I did. And I was very, very scared because the whole culture was so different. The people were so different, and I felt so different in them. I didn't feel loved and wanted and accepted. I just felt different.